Hello, good afternoon. It's 12:03 and I'm glad you could join me. I just thought while we're waiting, rather than you watching a boring screen, you watch another boring screen, and I'm just doing some doodles on the stuff I did yesterday. This is very much not finished, but it's one of them that I'll go to time and time again when I just want to be creative. I don't want to make a full Moodle. I just want to make like changes to a Moodle. So, it's not permanent and finished, and in fact, it grows and grows and grows, and like any drawing, one day it looks better than the others. And it all depends on your mood as well. Sometimes they look rubbish, sometimes they look really good. So, yeah, I'm just doing some diddly dots. Quite like it when, you get a pattern and you think, oh, that's a new one. And it's not, because if you look back on the internet or YouTube or anywhere, you can see that there's loads of people who thought the same idea. And you can get that sort of, oh, you get really deflated when you think you've created something and somebody else has already done it. But it's infinite, I know, but there's only so many variations, I think. So anyway, I'm just doodling on this till we get a few more people in. I'm going to do a full geode today. I was looking at the electron scanning microscopes, and I was really into nature's wonderful sort of array of patterns and textures, and I thought we could just do a really simple one, just looking at the geodes, so that we can really sort of go back to what we did in the beginning and really Moodle, quite literally just simply Moodle. So we're on the webcam today, which is nice and clear for you. I've got the light on it. Hopefully you can see okay. I've tidied my house up, which was a right mess. But when you're creative, I've got to put my cardi on. It's freezing. It's freezing. Do you know what? The sleeves of my cardi are rock hard. Yeah, they're rock hard. Look, because I keep dipping them in stuff. Right, I'm going to put my drink over there because I know it'll go for Burton. What does it mean going for the Burton? I'm sure I said this. Anyway, we could do a big one or a little one. Big one or little one. Little one, big one. Right, well, just to explain, on the links I've sent you and on YouTube, I've put all the links. I've spent a couple of hours this morning going through everything that I've used, and while I was on there, I was getting inspiration for some other products that I've got, and these are the deco foils. Now, I've had these years, and they're for fabric and paper, and you get 5 in a box. And I've only got limited colours, but I got a bunch of them from a Chanda years ago when I first started. So I'm going to use these and a quickie glue gel pen, and I've put some links on that page for you to go and have a look. It does show you what I was using, and although it might not show you exactly what I was using, it's similar items as well. Now, what I would recommend, which I found really wonderful to work with, is a black glaze pen, and it really is gorgeous. And I love the black glaze and gloss it gives. Now, I don't know if it's in this one or my little one. Let me just check. It might be in this one. No, this is the... See, I'll cover over that because it's so annoying. Hang on 1 minute, guys. It's here. And you see how bright that black is? So, I quite like that size. So I know it's the same as that, but it's less bulky than that, so I've got to use that. I think I'm I'm going towards the A5s at the moment, because at the moment I can get them on the screen and then you can see. And I've got loads of like little ones that we've done and I've not finished. Or so let's use this page because I want to. So what we're going to do is look at geodes, right? And I was looking at the geodes and the formation of geodes, and they're absolutely stunning. And when I was waiting the other day, I drew this one, and this one was just a start, and I just really love it actually. So I thought together we'd do one very similar. So we're just creating, rather than sort of just shapes like this, we're going to keep two like geode shapes. So I've got a pencil, I have got a compass if I need one. I don't think I'll be using very much compass today. I've got my little geometry set as well, got my pencil, and I'm just going to start. So if you look, it was very much like the inside of a geode. So if you want some inspiration, go and have a look at geodes. They're really, really helpful to sort of get you inspired. I'm just going to make my screen bigger, so if that's better, I can see you now. So oh, I haven't said hello. How rude, how very rude of me. Right, we've got Jan, Shirley, Marcia, Kim, Louise, Linda, Denise, Deb, Linda, Karen, three Lindas, Yvonne, Linda, Wendy, Hilary, Sarah, Judith, and Glynis, Denise, Marie, Sally. Right, I want to thank some people who have, you know, got the courage to go for number 2 colouring now. We're up to 30 people, which is great, because even one person is brilliant, but you know, it's nice to know that those 30 people have trusted me, and we've got some, hopefully we'll get some more from the people who did the others as well. So but yeah, and the big classes, they're limited to one-on-one tuition, so there's 25 in a room, and we're all going to do a big canvas very similar to these, but a big one, and we get like a full day's tuition. So you're probably talking about the whole of one day, maybe 5 hours, where we sit, we draw, we chat, I help you with your work because I can see you, and that's 25 quid. But Etsy take their money off as well. So I just wanted to explain what that was. So the first thing I'm going to do is just going to draw random shapes. Now I want big ones, little ones. So I'm as big as your head, sorry. And I just look at that and I think, yeah, I've sort of fitted some on and off. In fact, I like that one better, but that's what'll happen. You'll get like days like that when you think, oh, that's better. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, it looks like cowhide. But each to their own. So what I'm going to go in is so simple today. We'll get the whole thing finished. I'm going in with a number 3. Going in with a number 3. Or shall I go in with I'll go in with a number 5. I think this is my drawing one that I've run out. Oh no. So I'm going to go straight in with these now. And I'm just going to go. Oh, sorry. I hope you can see me. Hi Jill. Hi Rizwana. Hi Philippa. Sarah. Sonia. Right. I'm just going to go straight in. And I'm going to be mindful of a continual line. Take it slow. Don't like this point here, so there's no rush. Don't want you to rush today. The lovely Rachel Harris, who's one of my excellent design colleagues, she does some absolutely amazing meditation, and she is qualified to do it as well. And it'd be wonderful if, you know, because I find this music very soothing. It'd be wonderful if she could do another class for us. Just be careful, I'm getting a bit sort of corner, and I don't really want that, so I'm happy with that. Hi Dawn, hi Natalie, hi Elaine. Well, Elaine, if you just think it's every day at 12, every day. I don't hardly miss a day now. It's like 11. No, that's not right, is it? 7 days a week. Oh, shut up with this. Right, so I'm going to get rid of my first lines pretty early on, actually. And the reason for this is so that I can see the next layer that I can put in. I might get 2 done today. I'll be going in my room later, but I will be working, so I won't be chatting, but I'll be working. I'll be listening. It's so good to hear that you're all getting on together or not. And it's nice. Tell you what's even better. I've got to say it, that you're all having a fair share, because it's easier for people with strong personalities to take over like me. So it's nice that you're not allowing me to take over and stuff. Right, I'm just going to go interference. I'm just going into side this, into sort of leave it. And I'm just going to copy the idea of a geode, sort of straightish, wobblish. I'm keeping sort of this distance similar. And you can make this one a little bit more jagged. I hope that, sometimes, I adore jewellery making, which I've done for years. And you get geodes and they're just stunning. I remember walking into jewellery maker and seeing a massive one that Steve had in the hallway at the old one, and it was just, what? Is that even real? And it was a massive amethyst. And it's like blue john and stuff. It's not far from here. So it's amazing, the colours, and amazing the layers. So I'm happy with that. It's really simple. There's no thank you, Marcia. There's no sort of bits and bobs here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pick 1 or 2 of them, and I'm going to do an inner line like that, but I don't want it to end up like a map, although it could be a map. So I'm just going to split them up like that, so we've got this faceted idea of like smooth and sharp and stuff, a bit like, you remember how we did this one when it's sharp, fragmented and smooth and piercing, and it very much relies on the softness of the colour, because that could, like, we had some people doing it in greys and blacks, and that really changed the feel of it, didn't it? So this is now what we're going to do here, and I'm just going to do a geode like that, so it's coming, it's not concentric, it's sort of on one side. I've split it up now, and then I'm just going to put designs in here and then designs in the others, but I think just one more like that where I split the element up. I'm not too keen I always do a sharp line, and I'm not a lover of it, so I don't know why I do it. It's almost like a segment, if you think of, that's better, like a segment. Yeah, I like that. So here I'm just going to draw segments come in. This is a nice way of drawing segments, is just random shapes like that. I'm going to draw random shapes in a minute. So you're just sort of doing you're drawing the actual, not the lines, I'm drawing the actual shapes. I'm looking at the shapes that I want and then drawing them. So Can you see how I'm drawing them like this? And then here we'll have this like that. I love that shape. I'm happy with that. Some of them are a bit wonky, but when you start to put other stuff on, so we've got this radius pattern happening, and then in here I'm just going to put, not all over, just these like radiating lines, like other fragments, like it's shattered and stuff. So just going to do one there to even it out, and then here I'm just going to go I'm not going to do that with that. Maybe this one. 1, 2, 3 lines. I'm not getting as many, are we? And I think that's because a lot of people were saying that they come later on and watch it because they're back at work. It's a bit difficult for me because of my health and stuff. I've got to be careful, so I can't just go out, and I can't have my vaccine yet. So I don't know what's happening. Right. So I'm going to put some patterns in this, and I'm going to go for it. I'm just really going to take my time. So the first pattern I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like an M. So I'm doing that one there, and I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to do, I'm taking my time a bit more today rather than rushing, because I tend to sort of rush it, and then I always sort of get upset because it's not as nice as I want it to be. So to make it 5, 3 or 1, I've added another one there. So the next one I like is I'm just going to put lines here, and then good old dots. Okay, so another one here, central lines. I can add these up. I'm not too worried about these being even and odd because it doesn't make odds to me really at this moment in time. I can add more. So I'm just adding, and I'm making it bigger as it goes. So 2 and 1, 2 and 1. So we've got our 3 here. Leave that. Oh, sack it, break my rule. There we go. 1, 2 and 3. So we look at this, we've got patterns here. We need some strong patterns, so I'm just going to do in here, I'm keeping the circles the same shape and size if possible, rather than trying to do masses and fitting them all in. So I'm trying to keep, because it can do some really nice work with pen work and white and black, so I'm keeping it. It might help if you pencil them in first. See how the sort of consistent, well, as far as I know anyway. I'm just going to put another one here. So what I'm going to do is put another line in, and then I can keep one for circles that reach top and bottom. Again, you look at the little geodes in cells and structures like that, and that's where it becomes apparent. So now I'm just going to add three on the outside here. I quite like this design where I've just got like the odd 3. So and then I just add in different shapes, like circular shapes there. So I'm just going to add some more different sizes. Just go for it, don't think about it, just do it. Just do it, because you can do it. There's no reason why you can't do it. And you don't, none of this rubbish that I can't draw, I can't. This is, if you can write, every one of these lines here is the shape of a letter. Every one of these lines can be changed into writing. So there's no excuse for people to say they can't do it. If you can write, or you can put marks on paper, even if you can't write, you can do this. Seriously, you can do this. So what I haven't got are some of my wiggle lines. So what I might do is just choose a little area, like that area there and that area here, rather than all of it, and just be selective. And then I'm not overpowering the whole thing. And like this I don't like, so I can change it a little bit like that. And I'll just put a wiggle on one side, and then that bit there can be filled up, and then a wiggle there. See, that's it's coming on now, isn't it? Coming on. So what I'm going to do is just get my favourite hatching, just to secure some lines and make them a little bit deeper. Not neat. I would try and save, not save, but stay within the lines as much as you can with these, because unless you really want them like off the wall, then you've got like bits hanging over. That's fine if it's deliberate, but when it's just like not deliberate, it can look messy. There's a difference between looking messy and being messy and on purpose, and it is quite visible when you see things that aren't finished. You think, oh, that's not finished, and yet you see things that are messy and you know it's messy. So what I'm doing is now I'm just adding lines but with dots. I'll just show you there. Can you see you've got, not great, I know I can't zoom in. Can you see I've got dots there, making lines, dots there. I've got random dots, and then I've got like cross hatching there. See? So that's adding sort of a bit of difference to it. But this is only like a serving suggestion. It's like the ingredients and then you do the rest. Right, I'm going to look at some of the others now, and I'm going to see what I've got, the patterns. I really like that pattern coming in there, and I love that there. But can you see how the patterns are made up afterwards with the white and the black pen? So you know what you do now is very different, and then when you finished it. So I quite like these geodes, so I'm just going to put a few in. They're like little pips. So, and you sort of fit them. Somebody's just asked me what music it is. It's hi Sue, hi oh I know you have Glenys. Hi Janet. Janet, I'm loving your work. I absolutely love Janet Laird from Kentucky in the USA. She's been doing geodes like this for a long time, and it has inspired me, and I hope I've inspired her as well, because the beauty in them is lovely. So you sort of take a bit of everything, but yes, go and have a look at Janet's work. It's stunning. I'll just write on a name here so that you can see. Sorry for stopping, but I want you to have a look, because it's very important that you know, if you are inspired by people, that you let them know, because otherwise it's not fair, is it? It's not fair. So, oh, have I lost her? Have I lost her? Well, it's Janet Laird. I can't comment, you see. Janet Laird, Laird. But there's other people who do similar. And this looks brilliant on fabrics. These look brilliant on fabrics as well. So, oh, we've lost a few people. Must be getting boring. Right, so what I've noticed on some of the lives as well, that I've got this like signature almost of this pathway. But what I did notice was I quite like, right, you're not going to believe this, but starfish have these wonderful like lines on the legs coming down from a point. And I just thought, how wonderful would it be if we just, I can make them bigger, have directional lines like that, crossing the lines. So we could even sort of change the direction of them, make them a bit more wobbly. So, you know, so we can see where they're going. You don't have to, but I just love the idea of it being almost, these are like the bonds that bring them together. Do you get me? Like the bonds that keep them together. And it shows you like signposts and growing and, but that's just where I get my ideas from. It doesn't mean that anybody else has to do that. So again, something that you can do. I like the idea that it creates movement as well, and I can make them bigger as well. But I was doing the little pods. So I'm going to do sevens on this one. Hopefully, Janet, if we can get you, Janet, to come on at some point and do us a Moodle, I'd love that if you would do it. I know there's a time difference, but if you could come and show us how you do your work, I'd be very in alive, because I think it's really important that we see everybody's. I'm just trying to scroll down so I can see comments. Hi Kate, hi Thelma, Linda. Oh, thank you. They are very addictive, aren't they? And in a nice way, because you can really chill and make it yourself, make it your own. So I'm looking at all the patterns. You see, these patterns look great, but these are all applied with, or even Marcia, if Janet can do a live and we can sort of share it through Jammers, and you know what I mean, it'd be perfect. And then don't forget your dangles as well. Good afternoon, Ruth. Hello. So you see, it's getting busy already, isn't it? And it does. I know they're really similar, but they're different. Really different. But I do like that glaze pen. I'll have to order some more of them. Oh, I'm not going to say out else. I know they've got them on Craft Stash. I put the link on. Yes, I must admit to tell you, I am affiliated with that. So yes, I do earn pennies when you buy something. And I want to be upfront and straight. So if you do get anything from Craft Stash, I am affiliated with it. But I wouldn't tell you any lies like that. If you want to know anything, I'll tell you the truth. And I wouldn't put you onto bad things. But I need to be straight up with you. I can't, you know, I can't not tell you that. It's not in my nature. So yeah, I do get pennies. So anything that you know you find that you like that I'm using, you will find it on Craft Stash, because I've got, or similar, because I've put all the links on it and I've attached it, and it's in Jammers as well in a file, and you can see file and it's got it on it, so it tells you what sort of products I'm using. What I'm going to do now is this one here is crying out for a bit more. I hope that doesn't make me sound like a money grabber. I am not doing it for that, but I have to earn a wage, and if all little bits count, don't they? You know, and I do greatly appreciate it. And as long as I can do all these free ones, I will. Although I do get comments about charging. I'm not until I really have to. I won't. So that really helps me to keep carrying on. That and obviously a chanda, because a chanda you can get your bundles, but sometimes that's not always appropriate. So you know, having somewhere else would be brilliant as well. So I'm just doing like the little germ leaves or whatever you want to call them, the little. I remember it was about 8 years ago I saw a lady doing this on YouTube, and I just looked at it and I off I went doing it, and I was just addicted. I was addicted for days doing it, and I was just like, oh, what have I done here? And so when I was doing, I'll have to show you my sketchbooks one day, but it's like when I was doing drawings of fields and things, I'd think of different ways of draw. I think I've told you actually, drawing the fields and the sheeps and the lines, and it's so. And then I did it in bead work, and it was just like, wow, open your mind to other things, like how can you interpret that work? Could you do it in beads? Could you do it in stitching? Could you do it with paper? All these things. Now I'm just adding wobbly lines. See, I think that's quite nice because it sort of separates but keeps them. And then we're going to look at some of the others. So I've got some here. You see, they're really simple, aren't they? There's no about them, is there? So here, I think what I'll do is I'll concentrate on just doing these. So in between, can't do it there, like that. And then it sort of falls in between, so there's gaps. This one here I'm going to fill with circles. This one, I think it calls for that. I made a bit of a boob then, so I've had to draw it on again. And again, let's draw. We've got one here. I'm going to carry it on, but it's broken. Bit of fractured sort of thing there. So let's look. We've got quite a lot of nice pan going on there, and a lot of it will be done with pens, and white pens and gel pens and colours and all these wonderful bits and bobs, what you would call it. So I'm very lucky. I'm going to use some of my Pearlywinks today. Yay, 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 yay. So I'm going to use my Pearlywinks, and I'm going to use some bright colours. But I must admit, Pearlywinks are great because they have a subtlety with them. So you think that you're going to get bright colours and too much, and it's not at all like that. I do need to colour the tops of mine so that I can see what I'm using. Otherwise, I sit here for hours doing this, and that's not great TV, is it? TV, finger watching, not great watching. So yeah, got some brilliant colours. So these are addictive. These are very addictive. And I've got them all in my deflecto. I've got the quick drying QDs. I've got the brand new ones, which these are superb. Look at the colours in these. But I'm going to use these later on. I'm not using them just yet. And I'm making my papers, for my new collection. And I'm using Pearlywinks. And I've asked them. They've said it's all right. It's all right. So I can tell you that if you're going to buy my collection later on and you want to get those colours, you'll be able to. So I've got these wonderful colours as well. Right, so I'm going to put, but I don't know what I did that for. Right. So I'm going to put the brights on first. Always the brights, because these are the colours that are going to take them a little bit. They'll be easy to mix, so I'll just leave them with us. Just leave them. I do talk to myself. I know. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am really, really sorry, but I can't help it. It's just what I do. Right. So I'm going for. This is a copper infusion. I want my yellow one. Where's my yellow one gone? Pink. orange, that'll do. Where's my yellow one gone? Hang on. I've got some more here. Vibes. Pinks. I'll use this pearly one as well. What have I done with it? I've got two of them. Quick dries, yellow, orange. Might use a bit of that. Because you get different effects with different things. So I've got my water. Oh, that'd have been nasty. That'd have been nasty, that. I've got a quicker glue pen for my bits and bobs. And I've got my foils. Now the colour foils I've got, I don't know what that is. What is it? Copper, rose gold. That looks like champagne. Black. And what's this colour? Pink melon and teal verde azulado. So like azure. Right, so I'm going to go straight in with colour. I'm using a big brush. I don't think I've mixed these enough. You do need to make sure you're wiggling like that. Get all that copper up. Gold. It's got gold infusion, this, hasn't it? No, copper. I was right first time. So I love this colour, so I'm just going to go with it. See, it doesn't overpower. Straight away you think, oh no, it's going to overpower, but it doesn't. And that's what I love about it, the fact that you don't go in with it and think, oh, I can't put anything else on top, that it's too bright. And even if you don't like colour, this is enough for you. Do you know what I mean? To not worry, even if you don't like bright. So, you know, please think again when you're looking at the colours, because and remember what I say is that these colours are very different on the paper that you're using. So, you know, you must remember that when you're sort of buying colours, you must think about the paper you're using. Now I'm putting this copper infused yellow all over because I can take it out. And it can be a base for other colours. Do you know what I mean? So if I want more of an orange, let me get my paper towel. If I want more of an orange, I just take that away and I can then put my orange in with it, or a straight pink, or whatever colour you want. Now I'm going to go with, this is beautiful. No, not that one. There's that many, guys. There's that many. I'm going to go with, no, not that one. Oh, come on with this. What's this one? Right, this orange is like a burnt orange. Beautiful, but it's not too bright. I've still got yellow on there, but I don't care. So what I'm going to do is just pick out, see how subtle they are? I'm not really focusing that much on colour today. Well, I am and I'm not. And what I mean is, I'm going to get some colour down and get the doodles at the end, like the Moodling done at the end, so that people can see what it looks like with all the drawing on, because I tend to just draw the shapes, and that's not always what you want, is it? You want to see what I do with the shapes. So you can see again, there's a difference. There's a real subtlety to what we're doing here regarding in comparison to that, but the colours are stunning. They're so inoffensive. Go outside your lines, pick out colours, like blend in with the other ones that you've got already, and layer. Once it's dry, remember, you're able to layer it. So I'm just going to go now and put some little bits of bobs of colour. That's beautiful, like that. So I'll clean my brush. And I'm just going to clean that as well. Beautiful. Lovely. So that's my starting now. That looks like, you can't see it very well there, but it looks like the inside of a mushroom. The only issue now I've got is, there we go. But I don't actually mind sometimes when you do that, because it actually looks quite nice when you sort of mix the colours without realising. Right, got to go with magenta. Now magenta in this colour is it's beautiful. It's more like a wine. Not a wine, that's so wrong. It's more like it's not even a burgundy. It's got a cool base. No, it's a bit of both really, but it's dusky and I love it because it's not overly. And again, I'm not paying attention to too much to colour, and you're just getting the colour on so I can finish the pattern. So I've got the nice combinations now. I'm going to pick up, see how you can make it as dark as you want or as bright by adding more. So I've got my 3 there. Maybe I could add more there. You don't need a lot. I mean, I put way too much on. So I'm going to add some more just by dabbing. And that gets you a nice sort of granulation. Sometimes they granulate. It tends to be the browns that granulate. And granulate means like when you, it's like a separation, but it's like grainy. Looks cool. And you get some that create like cauliflowers. They're really cool as well. And that's where the colours all sort of separate. So what I'm just dabbing extra colour in so that it's the paper, even though this paper is really sturdy, it still bends a tiny bit, but nowhere near what the others do. And I know some of you have been buying this, so I have emailed them to see if we could get a code for you, but they've not got back to me. So what I'm going to do is quickly, to keep this intense colour, and because remember what I said, layering means you have to put layer on dry. Mixing means it goes on wet. I don't want to mix, I want a layer. Oh, I'm burning my page here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it as I work on it, and you get some wonderful marks. I'll bring it up to the camera to show you. Now that's gone over a bit, so I'm just going to go over it a bit there. Oh, that's handy. So as you can see, hopefully, as I'm drying it and the paper's warm, it's drying pretty fast. And I'm creating these wonderful like little pools, just like geodes. Now, just to add a little bit of difference, I'm going to go in a few of these. In fact, I can even add some I'll just bring it up close and show you what's happened when you dry it as you're working. You see? You see it's wet looking, but all the little puddles, you see all geodes in the lines. Now they're perfect for outlining. And this one, don't worry, because we'll make that as part of the pattern. But you can see it's done it here as well. But that's me travelling it, and then that one came through. That looks perfect. So yeah, don't worry about drying. It's important that you dry if you want to keep that colour. But if you don't, and you want to layer it up, then now that is called Lush Lillet. So this is a slightly darker one, and I'm just going to put that near it. So maybe here, it's a lighter version. So where it sort of spilled over, this is a dusky one, this, so it's not as it's not as magenta-y, it's more of a winey colour. It's beautiful. So just add that one there so it looks like it's joined. Sometimes when these things happen, like runs and stuff, you can't help but you've got to go with it, and it looks great there. Right, okay, so I'm going to clean that off. I'm happy with that. Get that on there, clean that. So the next colour I'm going to use, and I need a green and a purple and a turquoise. So I've got a dusky, I've got that copper infusions there, I've got browns, I've got green? Yeah, green, purple. Got to be careful with purple because purple can change slightly all the other colours. So here I've got aged teal, which I love. I've got a blue, what's that say? Blue Grotte. That's not a good name, Grotte. I'm sure there's something wrong with that. Oh, Grotto! Sorry, not Grotte. I thought they wouldn't call it that. Blue, so I'm picking up the blues now. That's black. I don't want that yet because that can be a bit heavy for me. At the moment, it's a beautiful colour, but I don't want it yet. So I'm looking for all the dusky plum. We've had that. So I'm going to put all them on there that I've had. And I'm going to put some blues out now. So I've just cleaned up that bit there. Oh, I haven't. That's hardly clean, is it? Right. So okay, so we've got this nice colour now. I'm going to dry off my brush because I don't want it as wet. Put that there. What you can do is use, I don't think I've got any here. I do normally carry them as well. When I'm doing my own little mess abouts, I normally have bulldog clips. I think they're in my handbag. And I just stick a bulldog clip on it. And it keeps it flat for me there, but as you can see, I don't always. Right, I've got some brights and I've got some sort of like the vibes there. They're a really great colour. And you choose, that's stunning, isn't it? That's called Blue Grotto, not Grotte. So I'm going to go straight in with this. I love that colour. And you get a wonderful darker purple with it as well. So I'm just going to go over that there. So again, I'm not that interested in trying to create tonal colours or anything. I'm interested in getting it coloured so I can use the patterns and everything else on it. So I don't want to sort of worry too much, because you look at the other ones I've done, and it's the pen work at the end, the doodling, that's really helped it. So that's what I'm looking at this time. So I'm going to just try do, I don't even know if this will work out. Oh, it has. Look at that. I'm going to change that for blue. Can't there. I might put a little bit of blue there just to interrupt that colour there, make it look like there's something else going on. And I might just put a little bit to introduce some lines there. I'm going to make that a bit odd. By odd, I don't mean that bad odd. I mean I'm going to make it look uneven. So I'm just adding some more colour now. And I'm adding it over the purple. As you can see, you get some wonderful dark colours with these. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not doing them all. Just going to do one or two. Some stunning colours. It's not black, that. It might look it, but it's actually not. It's a beautiful purple blue, dark blue. Stunning. Stunning. And I'm just going to put a fake line around that. Like, don't forget you can do this over the top of your geode. So here I'm going to paint just a thin shadow. Blue, light blues and blues all create a wonderful shadow effect when painted around an object. It gives it a like a photo, like a, what's it called? Like a shadow effect. So I quite like that. I'm just going to whip round them all, and I'll add some more later on. So I'm going to pick up the blue now and see what I've got. I've used, that's the blue, no, blue. This is an enemy blue, so this should be, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to go straight in with this here in the background. This is like more like an indigo, I must admit. It's a very beautiful colour. And I'm going to go over the tealy colour. Again, use your heat gun to dry. So you don't have to add it all. And mix the two together so that you've got an intermediate colour, and then that means that you've got a darker version of the colours that you're already using. So here we've got teal, blue, we've got the teal and the blue, but now we've got this dark colour. It's more like a Prussian blue. It's got that purple warmth to it, so you can add that. I'm going to need a little bit of darkness in areas, because if I just look at that, it looks stuck out on its own. So if I add a little bit of this to these pods, then it works a bit better. So I'm just going to go around there, clean your brush, dry it. I'm really looking forward to the second colour class, because you get your pencils out then and all the other stuff that we use, and I really go to town. You've done the hard bit now. However, you could just join this. You don't need to have done number one, but it does help, but you don't need to. And then we're going to work together with it, and then I'll show you all the tips and tricks of shading and blending and tinting, and then we can go on with textures and patterns and colour. It's just, if you like this, you're going to love that. I was thinking of doing it where we get a class evolved out of it, so to speak, so that you get, oh, look at me, can't see out. So you get a finished product rather than just a load of notes. But there again, I love my note taking. Can you see how it's lots of different colours, and yet I'm not sort of worried about it. I'm just quite happy that the colours are like this. I'm not sort of thinking, oh, what happened here? I've not got that colour or this colour, and I think take that away from your worrying and stuff, and you get a much, how can I put it? You get a much better result, only because you're not worried. Because if you carry on worrying about stuff, it never looks nice. It'll never be good enough. So this is violet. Right, let's look at this. See, these colours all go well together. But I still need some pink, so I'm going to go in with that one. And I've mixed it up, so I've got an infusion. It's still a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use those colours, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to get. I just need something that's beautiful, that. And if you do have a little tissue underneath it, you can go right off, and it goes off there then. Adding bits of colour. If I haven't got a bit of colour there, I'm adding this into it, colouring it in. And it looks, I know it looks a bit crazy at the moment, but that's entirely what I want. So I'm adding a little bit of purple and the beautiful infusion there, just to add a little bit more colour there, give it a bit of brightness. And don't forget, because they are water based, you can mix these around, and I do love them. I do really like them. Like I say, I'm going to make my papers with them because they're muted enough but bright enough. Oh, look at that, stunning, isn't it? All these colours that you can get. You can need a little bit more in here. And again, if you put them like this, you get a great mix. I mean, if you go onto the Perlywink site, you'll see they're very generous in the fact that they allow you, that they have done lots of back to basics with colours, and I think that's really good. That shows really good practice, because it's like we're going to do now, or when we've done a video on the TV or anything and people get by a kit, then Rachel, myself and the lovely Liz Wheeler will be adding videos for you to go and play back, and it'll be relating to the products you buy, because I think that's really important, that you know you can go and have a look at them and you're not on your own. What I'm doing now is I've got a really fat, my pet, number 2 large worker, not number 2, number 8, and I'm just using the tip of this. Now if you can see, it goes to a very, very fine point. Now this is good for when you do, I just want to put a tiny bit of colour around these, but I don't want to sort of create too much of a line. So if by doing this, like here, I'm creating more of a shadow rather than a colour. So if I want to get my pink there, I can, and it gives it a really soft sort of layered look. I love this. I love it. Love it. Better, because watch that. Sometimes it's nice, you know, just to blooming put stuff out and then pick it up, because you've got no choice. Oh, look at that. Sorry. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Stunning as well, isn't it? Let me dry it. So, as always, dry the back first a little bit. So this is all the clean up. And in that itself, I've got a wonderful pattern. Maybe for tomorrow, what we could do is do a pattern on a clean up sheet, or go back to our layered landscape. You see how it's transferred here? But I really like that as well. Be mindful of that. If you don't want it transferring, then always just put a little bit of greaseproof paper or anything that you want. If you put something non-absorbent, what happens is it'll slip all over it and maybe thingy your colour. How are we doing for time? Oh, 1 o'clock, look at that. I put that much colour on. This is the first time this has sort of beveled a little bit, but even now it hasn't. I'm not affiliated with these either. I don't want you to think I am, I'm not. I'll get Sam the buyer to bring them back then if you want. Yeah? Shall we bring them back? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at that and I'm going to think, right, where do I want? I want some colour. Okay, now you can transfer these everywhere. Oh, that hurt. And do you know what? It annoys me because once you get them out, you can't get them in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what we call self-colour. So I'm just going to start here, quickie glue pen, and I'm just going to go over these. So similar colour. Take your time with your pen, because what you want to do is sort of allow the flow, and that means that you've got to take your time with it. So if you start going like that, you'll hit and miss, but that might be what you want, you see. So again, take your time, do all one colour. That's what I do anyway, it's entirely up to you. And I'm just doing the tealy bits now. Exciting. And then all them little dotty bits that you think, oh, that was a pain in the bum and it's not worth it. This is where it is worth it now, because there's no lines sort of around it, but even these like wobbly bits here that look a bit dodgy, I can now really make focus. Ow, stick my finger on him, you plonker. Right, and even here I don't like this bit, so I'm just going to, it's not that I don't like it, I just want to brighten it. So what I think I might do is just add some dots of the teal. So I've got that. Now look for anywhere else and I think, right, okay, I quite like this. So an inner line. And again down here. And all I'm doing is I'm just going inside the line a little bit. So if I show you on a big sheet, oh, what was that? Right, if I get my big pen out and show you. So if I'm doing, this is what I did this morning, going through all of them, trying to make sure that you've got everything I was using. Right, so when I'm doing the glue bit, what I'm doing is, say I've got a shape like that, I'm just going on the inside, following the shape, but not, you see, I'm not going to the edge. So that's teal. So this is teal, and this is the teal foil. So it's just inside or just outside, but you don't want it on the line. You don't want to try and create a line because that will spoil it. Because what it'll do is it'll draw attention to something that maybe doesn't look visible now, but you'll bring it visible. So you get 5 sheets in these, I think. Now, if I'm not wrong, you're supposed to do that with them, aren't you? Now, oh, hey, lovely. Forgot. How many have I got here? Oh, you only get 1. I thought you said you get 5. No, you only get 1. Well, I've only got 1 in this. That's probably why it was cheap. Right, so oh, there is more. Oh, look, there is 5. No wonder, silly girl. Right, sorry about that. And you've got inside, you've got all the paraphernalia. I'm not showing you. I've decided. Look! happening. Whoa, sexy. Right, so I need one more place now, so I'm going to do a wibbly wobbly line there and a wibbly wobbly line there. Oh, that's not slow enough, look. I'm going to leave a sheet of this out because I'm not getting all that back in. So I've got a bit of pink here. And it's not a bright pink. It's a very soft pink. Now, well, even then you think, oh, I've not got many there, but you have. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do these here because I think this needs lifting. Now, if you've got glitter, then do your glitter. And if it's still sticky, you need to go back and do more foiling on it because you've not caught it all like that there. In fact, I might put pink round that one. So here we've got that, that's fluff. So here I'm just going to put some lines in this because it can take it, because there's not much pattern going on. So what I am going to do here is, I think, I've not drawn it on. I'm just doing the wobbly patterns. Now I know Lou Sims brings these onto a Chanda, so it might be an idea to go and stock up with them. So what I'm doing is circle, dot, get off, circle, dot, big circle, just show you. See, big circle, circle dots there, you can just see them, and then a wobbly line round there, and then lines there. So this is the bit I think you're supposed to leave it a little bit longer, but I'm too impatient. Sexy! Oh, I'm loving that. And you know where you haven't gone, if it's gone a bit peaked tongue, you just go back over it. And you do need to that's it. You need to really burnish it. There's a way of doing it, and I'm obviously not doing it the right way. Well, I am and I'm not, if you know what I mean. You need to burnish it properly. Right, can you see the dots now on the pink? See, and it's caught up parts of the green as well. So anywhere that's you'd put glue on and it's not stuck, get this on it and it'll fill the gaps. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm in love. So even the dots look. Oh, need to do these as well. You're supposed to use, I think, I'm not wrong, you're supposed to use something like, you see, I've always used my finger, but you're supposed to use something soft that won't wreck your paper, but you can burnish it in like that. So, and the nice thing is, don't throw any of this away, because when you've really used it, you get some spray glue on a sheet of paper, so there's hardly any left, and then put the whole lot on and leaves it with nothing. Oh, sorry, you've got to go. Linda, no, you don't. Oh, thank you. What foil have you got? I've got the deco foil for fabric as well. No, you always put the colour up because you want the back to stick down, otherwise that'd be facing you, wouldn't it? So yours colour up. People do get a bit confused about that. Right, I'm gonna have a right old mess this afternoon, but who cares? Now I've got black and I've got copper. Now copper is a beautiful colour to use for anything and everything. Now there's no way I'm going to use all these. Come in there. So I'm going to use the copper, and I'm really going to go sort of think about this now, because I've got, like, I'm just doing jiggly lines now, and I really want to sort of be a little bit more focused with it. So I've got some straight lines there, but what I might do is just, no, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is just put the copper lines here. So anything spiky, I'll put copper lines on, and then it's like, I suppose it'd be like sunlight or sun, or, you know, sun rays. Don't forget, you've got your good old what you call it to use as well, pens. So I'm just going to colour these in. So I've got a square of it. I'm just going to do some of these. Philippa, if you want to know about this. Oh, great, Nancy. Have you, Ruth? Get him out. Get him out. That's what I thought when I found him. I was like, oh, I'm using them. I've got all sorts of ideas for these. Anything that you can use for a machine, it'll be fine with this as well. So just go for it. You have my permission to go for it. Oh, look at that. Don't whip it off too fast. Right, I need my burnishing. I've not put it on that. I've not put enough glue on that. So what I need to do, I don't think I'm using, no, I think your good old nail's best, isn't it? I might go back over that with a gold pen. So. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. Spoon or something like that. I think somehow that some foils, oh, there's not enough glue on it, that's why. Some foils might be better with certain, you know, like different glues. I think this might be one. You get one, don't you? Get a colour that might not, it might need a little bit more than what you're putting on it. A little bit more sticking power. See, it's fine with them, so I'm wondering whether it's the way I'm doing it. I think it's the way I'm doing it. I think I'm not scratching if I rub. Oh, rubbing's better. Not sticking my nails in, I'm just rubbing over it. Oh yeah, that's better. That's probably what I'm doing wrong. Creating the heat. Oh yeah, look, can you see? Creating a bit of heat. Well, it is a heat foil, so I'm thinking, oh, hang on. No, not much there. It's come on a little bit. I just need to learn to use it properly. And it's certainly not the product, it's me, because I'm not using it in the right way. It's not meant to be used, I don't think, like this. So, yeah, I mean, you've got to be mindful of that. And I'm not just saying it as a cop-out, I really mean it. You've got to know how to use a product properly to get the full benefit out of it. Because otherwise, it's a shot in the dark, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now is I've got these colours, and I've got to be careful. I'm putting all these inks near me doofah. I don't want that on there. I'll get shot. Right, I've got black now. So I always think when there's not many people in that they don't like it, you know. And I know that's a sad thing to say, but it's true. I always think, oh, what am I doing wrong? And I get a little bit worried that what I'm doing isn't appealing. And I think, oh, how could I make it better? You know, because people don't want to watch it. And I suppose everyone's like that, aren't they? You know, we get a little bit unsure of what we're doing, and I'm very insecure with what I do, and very rarely like what I do. And it's quite scary that, because people think, oh, you should like what you do, but if you've not been that way, then you don't. It's the last thing you want to do. You can't, you know, be big-headed about your work. Nobody likes a big head. Oh, you get people, oh, I'm only joking, you know, but no, everybody hates a big head, because you're like, well, it's not something nice. So when I see people and then there's not many there, and I'm like, oh, what have I done wrong? You know, I don't like it. And it's just me being silly. Right, what I am going to do is, you know, these bobbles on the seed head things. Right, apparently this is where you need your bulldog clip, because it holds it down. I'm going to go off in a minute to my room in junk journals, where I'll have a chat with people. Then I've got to finish a book on IT. I'll get it done though. But it's not a book, it's a fanzine. Not a fanzine, a newzine. And I'm wondering whether I'm not waiting long enough, or whether I'm waiting too long. Do you know what I mean? It's all trial and error, because I should read the instructions, but I'm gun-ho. It's terrible. I just go in straight in, you know what I mean, and not even look at what I'm supposed to be doing. Right, I've got this now. Let's see what's happening. Oh, that's working. I love this. It's not too heavy, it's not too subtle, it's just in the middle. So, you know, it's really, in fact, if I could, I'd make this a paper. See how subtle that is? You just get the glint, don't you? You see it? Very, very subtle. Very subtle. Right, okay, so if I look at that now, you sort of got to look at the side and think, right, is there anywhere else that needs a bit of this or a bit of that, and just rub all over it, and then the black will come onto it. But I'm really, I must admit, I'm really liking this edition. Maybe not, I'm not so happy with that, because it looks like, do you know what I mean, it's the glue spread out, so I've got to leave it a little bit longer than I have done. But I love what's happening. I love the idea of adding the final bit with a bit of glitter, or a bit of, you know, foil. I've got tons of it. I'm going to get it out and use it. So I'm more or less done now with that. What I'm going to do is go into my room and use my pens and go into that, and I'm going to do some like more like geodes and patterns. So I'm in junk journals and mindful mixed media art. If you want to go over there, yeah, Sally, they are some of. I think some of them are made to go in a machine, but new scene. It's NEWSZINE. It's like a magazine, but it's news, newzine, magazine, paper zine. Um, yeah, we are hours. Oh, Andrew's got his live at 3. Don't forget. And Andrew is messing up. Messing up. He's finishing up his messy work, and I can say that because it is. And Marcia always cleans his scissors. Right. So yes, Jane. Some people do watch and catch up. Yeah, I know, Jane. you know what I'm like. You've known me a long time. You know how bad I am with myself. So, but yeah. I hope you've enjoyed that. If anyone needs any extra help, in the group who want to help and stuff. So, take advantage of that. Come and join the room, which is a great little room. Um, it's called Louise's room. It's on the top of the junk journals. You don't have to speak. You can lurk. But people sort of chat about the stuff and that. It's got to be good fun. No, not smutty. It's got to be good. Have a laugh. Okay, so everyone's trying to join me. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you later. Bye.